I would like to now welcome to the podcast a very wise, socially aware, and righteous person. But first, I would also like to start off with an apology. Mark, social justice warrior, I'm sorry that I'm white.
Thank you very much. The one thing I noticed that you didn't open up with was a territorial acknowledgement. That's something we do over here in North America. I wouldn't expect for you to know that coming from a pure Aryan country. So I'm going to need you to do two things. Talk 25% at less volume because you're a man, and I'm getting a bit triggered by your voice and appearance. And we're going to do it right with a territorial acknowledgement. So be quiet. You don't get to speak over me. I'd like to acknowledge that this podcast interview is taking place on unceded Saratoga trans territory. Quiet. Okay. Proceed, white man.
Thank you. And I would, of course, Mark, may I call you Mark?
You may. My preferred gender pronouns are they, them, with an X.
Oh, but speaking of X, there was a woman you interviewed just a few days ago. Beautiful, beautiful woman. I seen it online. I mean, my Allah, was she attractive?
I don't want to be crude, but did you see the tits on her? Oh man,
those.
The areolas on that were like a Native American Indian reserve that was just needed. And my tongue would have been the water that they need to drink. I would have just, so it's. I interrupted you, which is justified, but I'm trying to be more polite to people because you might be an ally, and I don't want to necessarily edge you out. So proceed.
Thank you. Sorry.
Your cough was a bit loud. I'm going to need you to turn the volume down. Some of us here maybe suffer from trauma, and coughing reminds us of gunshots because this is North America now.
But of course, she interviewed that stunning lady. Initially, I thought it was Scarlett Johansson. Not to push my hetero agenda.
Why didn't you give a trigger warning before you brought Scarlett Johansson up? Do you know what she's done to the trans community? I don't even know how you could conflate those two. Okay, we're going to try that again. Who did she look like?
Burt Reynolds.
There we go.
And so when you met that beautiful, stunning woman, what was it like talking about her penis?
Well, she doesn't call it a penis. It's an easy mistake to make. What I'm learning is that most people, they're just not educated enough. So I feel that my role is to educate. Well, you get one lesson. Then if you don't learn the lesson and you continue to call it a penis afterwards, I will dox you and go after your job. Because as a socialist, because I don't have a job, no one should. Okay? What I've learned to describe the genitalia that she has is an outie vagina, and the labia is just what I call spherical labia, and the clit is just it's like a hyena clit because female hyenas have very large clits, right? Also, and with Jessica, I think that her clit, it wouldn't just be the smell that you'd be choking on when you're licking it, So what was it like talking to her? What would it be like talking to Queen Elizabeth? You're a fan of her because you're from Great Britain. You guys over there love the Queen. Sorry for any listeners for not giving a trigger warning. I'll self-crit. That was wrong. I shouldn't have brought up the Queen because that's monarchy and colonialism. My apologies. But that's the best comparison I can come up with.
One thing I'm also going to give you a lot of credit for, Mark, was the fact that you didn't hate me for the fact that I'm heterosexual, and I honor you.
Well, I one look at you, I didn't think you were heterosexual, so that was my mistake. So I'm going to need you to turn your volume down a little bit lower now.
All right. Yeah. One person that I love to hate is Donald Trump.
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
And
sure, you're not a bit trans?
The only trans thing about me is my DVD collection. I've got Transformers 1, 2, and 4.
And Chicks with Dicks, Volume 3?
No, but I am getting the Blu-ray box set from Fat Larry, who's this Asian man who I'm friends with.
Okay, Asians aren't really designated marginalized groups anymore because they own property and control the media. Just like I don't, you know.
I don't think Howard Stern controls the media. I think he's got a hold on it, but
yeah, well, yeah, but you know.
So, but speaking of Trump, who do you think is the best between Genghis Khan, Idi Amin, and Donald Trump?
Idi Amin, because he's a person of color.
Thank you. Yeah,
he's automatically correct.
Yeah, everybody knows genocide, rape, and cannibalism. It's okay if you've got kinky hair.
Yeah. Also, with the genocide, rape, and they're not exactly the same experience when it's when the pleasant smell of cocoa butter's in the air.
And the great thing is, of course,
it's aromatherapy is basically what's going on there. Yeah.
Exactly. And everybody knows that the greatest comedian in the world, Hannah Gatsby, so funny. And if the one thing that we've learned from her is that rape is so funny when a woman does it.
When a woman does it, rape jokes aren't funny. When you talk about rape and cry, it's funny. Sometimes I just wish that I could have been raped as much as she was, so I could better identify with her. If I could take it all back, if I could do anything for her, I would switch places with her getting raped. No, because I don't want to take that experience away from her because it's what she needs for her personality. I would be in on the rape by holding the penis that was inserting into her. That way it's honored. The rape is sacred, and do a maybe do some MDMA while we're doing it. Burn some sage. That way it's honoring the Native Americans where it was probably taking place, and just blessing that rape, because that way now she has something to offer the world because she was raped.
Mark, do you mind if I take a quick second to do a live read from one of my sponsors?
No problem. Oh, okay. Who's the sponsor? What is it, first of all?
You'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Here we go. Hey guys, want to punch an old man in the face and get away with it? Well,
why does that have to be guys? Why do you have...
Sorry, I'll just rewrite that there in my.
Thank you. Okay.
Hey people. Want to punch an old man in the face or hit him with a pipe and get away with it?
Yes.
Well, Tifa is the job for you. We'll accept anyone, literally anyone. The
only thing I don't like about Antifa these days is they're kind of like they're a bit soft for me. I think their tactics are a bit, they could be a bit harder than that. Far be it from me to criticize one of my favorite beverages, but I think they're drinking too much soy. They don't need to mix their hormone blockers with the soy every time. So, I mean, good job, Antifa, but you could step it up a notch. Like we're trying to actually change the world here, not with your pussy tactics.
Why do they have to dress in black? Why can't they use the real bad color, white?
Well, see, that's how you can tell they're at least respectful, because when they dress in black, they know that's and instill fear in people. They're honoring POCs, right? And some people say that when you're dressing in black in a mask and committing crimes, it's cultural appropriation. I think it's cultural honoring.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree, and it identifies as a handshake.
Yeah.
Of course, speaking of really, really smart, intelligent, strong women should I say people who identify as a woman and as a person of color, AOC, now, I think it goes without saying, she has never been proven wrong or caught out being making up facts. Now, sure, some of the details are a little different here and there. She gets the name of a country
But the
wrong.
emotional labor that she has to use every day is how can you expect her to get all the details right? Also, as a brave woman of color, even if she gets a detail wrong, it's up to us, especially you because you're a white male, to change the reality that you see, alter the facts in your mind to suit to go along with hers, right? And she used to be a server or a waitress. Are you still tipping her for the times that she was a server? Are you sending her tips?
I'm a recovering heavy drinker, but yeah, you know what? Damn it, I'll do it.
There
But
you go.
the thing I like about her
25%, not 18%, 25%. Oh yeah, you don't tip over in that Great Britain colonizing country. Fucking, you don't care about the working class there, colonizers.
but the thing I do like about AOC is that she's so busy
Yeah.
that she is willing to take the time to show her support by staging uh, photography sessions to make it appear as
Well,
if she cares / was actually there.
I mean, I think that personally, when she was probably crying because when she got there, they wouldn't let her look at the POC kids in cages. She brought her bananas, and then there was nothing to give them. She had her iPhone set up for something to like record so she could, scratch, rub one out later. Because POCs in cages, who doesn't get turned on when you see that?
Oh.
It was just sexual frustration is what really got her upset. So who can blame her, right?
Yeah, I'd love to know the person that hacked her account, that uploaded those photographs of her crying at that cage because they're trying to make it seem like she's trying to make it all about her, and that sickens me.
Let's just put it this way: in order to hack into a computer into computer mainframes and use the internet like that, it would take a grand wizard.
Typical, yeah. And look at the color of these keyboards. White. I'm disgusted at this keyboard. I can't wait to burn it on a cross. Not on a cross. Sorry.
If you put crosses are okay because that's Christianity. What you do is you put the lighter up to the white and then it'll turn black. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what me and my girlfriend do when my boyfriend's not, or when her boyfriend's not in town. I put shoe polish on just so she can feel like it's him, and she doesn't go, "Ooh, gross! Get away from me, Mark."
But that's
I told you we were just friends, but
But that's the thing about you, Mark, is you care too much. Like
I do. It's a curse. It's a curse.
It's a curse that identifies as a virtue. Blessing. Well, I don't.
But blessing is a Christian concept. I prefer fatwa.
Yeah. A thing I'd love to talk to you about, and this is totally normal. This is like, I don't see why anyone would find this strange. Is transgender children.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as everybody knows,
they're the only ones that shouldn't be aborted.
Exactly. Everybody knows is that if you're going to listen to someone, it's a 3-year-old, because 3-year-olds are fully grown adults. They are exactly the sort of person who doesn't have any wild ideas about, I want to stay up forever, no showers, ice cream for breakfast. Why can't a kid cut their dick off at the age of 3? And why can't their parents, hopefully both of the same gender, decide it for them?
Well, you see, kids used to play in sandboxes and go exploring in woods. I know I did, and a nice man helped me find my genitalia once when I was doing that, and he, let's just say that day I identified as a woman. Why can't gender exploration and at-home gender affirmation surgery, why can't that be like the new Twister or Doctor? Right?
Exactly.
I mean, why can't we just, if a girl performs her own surgery to transition into a man, We could call her a self-made man.
Can I just call you out?
But then we have to dox her. But then we have to dox her because she's a man now. So.
Oh yeah. Well, unless she's not white.
Right.
By the way, I just want to call you out on your sexism. You promoted two sexist games, Twister and Doctor. Right. Why can't it be Twist Person or Doc Muslim?
Well, Muslims were the original Doctor, so you're going to need to educate yourself a bit better. Yeah.
True.
Your gross monarchy used to use Muslim doctors back when they believed in burning witches and shit like that.
And thank
you. Your monarchy. Your monarchy.
Yeah, but
I know the Irish and they're so cucked to the monarchy. Oh, I'm from Ireland. I love the Queen. I love the Queen so much. I'm from Southern Ireland and I love the Queen so much. What bombs? What are those?
Well, that brings me to my next and final topic that I have for you, Mark. Or should I say, it's a question that identifies as a conversation ender. Don't you agree that terrorism is a good thing because it's by non-white people?
I don't call it terrorism. I call them freedom fighting missions. And as I've said before, like, there's a lot of talk about gun laws in the States right now, and those are good depending on who's saying it. Like, I think we should abolish guns unless you're a person of color who's a Muslim. Because let's face it, for freedom fighting missions, some people use 747s, some people use AK-47s.
And that is the best way to go out on. Mark, I love your hair. It's clearly natural.
Yep.
And I would encourage everyone to follow you on Twitter and learn the ways of the white man who's telling the white men how not to be.
That's right. I may be white, but for the sake of this conversation, I identify as black because I have a long criminal record.